something about you making your debuts at this stadium. And, obviously, this is your coaching debut here. You've come out with a win 17 years ago. We all know what happened during the Cricket Strikers. What is it? You got a lottery ticket?
No, I just think Highmarsh is like a fortress for Adelaide United. It has always been, from day one, and today again, how great was it in that second half when the fans got right behind us and that sort of lifted and spurred us on, and it was fantastic. The atmosphere in that second half was great.
How important, touching on fans, is it? Because I mean, like I told Paddy, we're watching Euro football with nobody was the biggest stars, the biggest wages, and it just doesn't cut it. You've got 10,000 tonight. How much does it lift your team?
Yeah, as I said, I think the excitement that they brought, and I said at half time that we needed to get the fans involved in the game. We needed to be a bit more attacking, a bit more positive, and bring the fans along with us. And once they lift and they started supporting us, then the players get a lift as well. And then, we took the game to that, we stepped our game up and took it to that next level and got the goals.
Did you sense it was happening? Because I thought Melbourne or McLaren maybe had a really good first half. Yeah, first half they caused us quite a few issues in the first half. Their midfield, their rotation and the movement in their midfield was very good, and we struggled to cope with that a little bit in the first half. We fixed that up, tightened our midfield up a little bit in the second half, which allowed us to intercept a lot more balls and provide a few more balls in behind them. And then we started to stretch them a little bit, and that's when we started to get a little bit more success. I think you said repeatedly that George is the best striker in Australia, and tonight we had McLaren, who has been, he got the double booth twice. So it was a real challenge for Tommy. Did you put that pressure on him?
No, Tommy puts that pressure on himself. He knows that where he wants to be, and I think again tonight he showed glimpses of that he is the best striker that Australia has. I truly believe that his adaptability to play the way that he does. He can play, to feet. He can go in behind. He's strong, and he's a great finisher. And we saw that tonight with that set piece.
Do you think the team showed character tonight?
Yeah, look, I think as you said, we found it a little bit difficult, and the players dug in and they fought and they battled. And again tonight, we got another clean sheet, which is very important. And again, the camaraderie between the players, it's very tight, and there's always been a good atmosphere in the Adelaide United change rooms. They've always been in close groups, and this group is no different. And you can see that there's a special bond starting to develop between the group.
So I think the biggest challenge now, how are you going to fill in the gap? There's 13 days between now and the game against Perth, and now you've got the momentum.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's a funny season, I think that's tonight was only our fourth game against A-League opposition, including the pre-season. So we're still finding our feet a little bit. But in saying that, I think this little break will help us a little bit, freshen up again. Because as I said, it's been difficult pre-season, not having those matches that we can constantly get. We got some fitness, but we don't have that match fitness. And tonight would have taken a lot out of the boys' legs tonight because they worked extremely hard. So to have that little bit of a break, it's going to be good.
Carl said this wasn't easy. It was difficult at stages. There was a period in the first half, I think. Defensive errors maybe coughed up a couple of chances to them. And then again in the second half, just before the send-off, there was a period where you had a lot of the ball, there was a lot of sideways and backs, and I think it was eventually a little bit frustrated. How did you manage to overcome it? Obviously the send-off fell.
Yeah, look, I think that's a lot of the time, even in the first half, we just played too much sideways, too much backwards. And I think our boys struggled a little bit on the pitch tonight. The ball seemed to get stick in the grass a fair bit, so it slowed down the game, I think, a little bit. Maybe the grass was a little bit long, I'm not sure. But it was just, they just had to, we just kept on telling them they had to go forward. And I think that's what we started to do a little bit more going forward, which then, as I said, brought the crowd into the game, and that sort of gave us that lift to get those goals.
And the combination of the midfield with particularly Joey and Louis, is that a bit of an experiment trying to find who's the 6, who's the 8, or is it just going to evolve as those things?
No, it's just Joey's the 6 and Louis the 8. That's, we can clearly see that Louis is starting to make that development in his game of those forward runs, and in the first half he didn't make enough, so we sort of challenged him that he needed to get more forward in the second half. So yeah, look, Louis is still quite a young player. We seem to still forget that he's only like 19 years of age, so he's still learning the game, and you can see that he's getting more experience with every game.
So just you touched on the grass being too long, so obviously speak to management here to get it cut shorter and watered. I don't know.
Yeah, they was watered before the game and watered at half time, but it just seemed to be a bit sticky tonight. So whether that was to do with the weather, I'm not sure, with the wind, whether that dried the pitch out a bit too quick. But at times we sort of struggled with the ball speed on the pitch.
How important is actually the turf to the way you play? Like you said, the ball speed, how important is that to your team?
Yeah, most definitely. Very important, because we need to shift teams. We need to shift the ball quickly from one side to the other side so we can isolate our winger against the fullback, because we've got some really exciting wingers, not just starting, but wingers on the bench that can come on and with that speed. So it's important that we can move the ball quick enough so we can get the ball out to them and isolate them in 1v1s. And I suppose that's what happened with the goal. For the free kick that Yaya got, we finally got him isolated, and he finally actually knocked the ball past Jamison. And when you got someone that quick, it's very hard to defend.
And Carl, I thought Stefan Moore really led by example in the performance tonight. What did you make of that?
Yeah, Stefan was outstanding. His pressure on the ball and the amount of balls that he pinches and puts players under pressure in the midfield is exceptional. As said, in the first half, I think we were just a little bit. Tommy and Stefan were just a little bit too high in our pressing, which gave them a bit too much space. In the second half, I don't know how many times Stefan managed to pinch balls and cause quite a few issues. And we know that one of his strengths is getting into the box and scoring goals. And he did that tonight. So it's fantastic. He's had an interrupted pre-season, and he's still sort of. That's why he didn't play a full 90 minutes again tonight. He's still a little bit underdone, but his leadership qualities are outstanding.
James Dillon was amazing tonight once again. Second clean sheet in 2 games. I just wanted to ask, do you reckon he's earned enough to get a spot in the 2021 Olympics now?
Look, it's still a long way to go from that, but I've said from day one when we signed James that given opportunities to play, I truly believe he will push in long term to be an Australian #1 goalkeeper. He has all the attributes for that, and he showed again tonight. Some of his saves were outstanding again tonight.
Is it similar to Robbie Zabinka?
Yeah. Someone else mentioned that to me as well, that he looks a little bit like Zabby. He's strong in the air. He's, like, when he comes out, he's got a really strong punch, and he's very comfortable with the ball. So yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. Someone else mentioned that to me as well. So hopefully he can grow into and have a career like that Zabby did.